Today's guest is a supporting sponsor of Liberty in Finance.
Welcome back to Liberty in Finance. We're delighted to have a first-time guest. We have Shane Williams, the president and CEO of West Red Lake Gold. He joins us today on Liberty in Finance. Shane, thanks for coming on Liberty in Finance this first time.
Great to be on.
We had your associate, Will Robinson, on earlier to introduce West Red Lake Gold to our audience. And one of the things that I mentioned when we were interviewing Will was the prolific news flow stream that's coming out of West Red Lake Gold. It's remarkable how many progress updates you all are making. But I think that you'll be able to explain why things are moving so quickly because of the existing resource that you're further exploring and the existing facilities, the mill, et cetera, that you're recommissioning and bringing into operations, why that gives you kind of a fast track to production that you're targeting, and why that's a sweet spot at this point. And I wanted to dig into that a little bit because Rick Rule has educated our audience to understand the importance of positioning yourself in a natural resource investment before the crowd finds out about it. And that's where there's a sweet spot right now with West Red Lake Gold. Can you talk to us once again about the resource itself, the metal in the ground that you're finding that's so exciting that you're continuing to come out with news flow about?
Yeah, I was just listening to Rick actually this morning. He said to be a contrarian investor. And so that's really the essence of West Red Lake. We kind of wanted to get a project that was very developed and had been defined. And gold is beginning to rise now and be moving towards production. So this West Red Lake Gold has a resource of over 2 million ounces of gold, high-grade gold at 7 grams, over 7 grams. So that gives you a good base. Red Lake is known as its prolific gold area. There's been over 40 million ounces actually pulled out of the Red Lake area at an average grade of 16 grams. So, it's where the high-grade gold is. It's where the good resources are. So that gives us the opportunity to move quickly. It's already defined, and obviously we got a great deal on the infrastructure, which allows us to move close to production. There's already a mill, tailings, permit, everything you need to build a mine. So we're in a good position to capitalize on this gold market as it moves.
That's one of the remarkable parts of the story that it's frankly unique. Folks, if you remember from our first interview, we found out that there's an existing mine that was started to be developed and starting towards production. Another company came in, they installed a mill, they installed all this equipment, and they got the permits, all the things that you usually have to wait sometimes quarters or years for to get approved. Those are all done. And what you guys did was found at a time when there was a really low sentiment in the market and poor performance of operation, struggle by the previous company, just couldn't get this off the ground. You came in, bought it up at a bargain when nobody else was interested, and got that taken care of because now you've been rapidly recommissioning and upgrading the mill. You found a bunch of gold in the mill and did your initial bar pour just about 2 weeks ago. They poured in a gold bar from the tailings of the gold that they found in the mill, which hadn't been operated properly by the previous owner. So it's like this fast track to production because everything's there that needs to be there, but it wasn't recognized. The value couldn't be realized for the shareholders. That's one of the things that Rick does talk to our viewers about a lot, is finding value when others haven't found it yet. But the fact that you were telling me this morning that you were able to buy these assets like a couple of years ago when nobody was interested. Yeah. And now prospective investors are jumping on the train now, get the benefit of that advanced positioning that you did. And they get the fast track to production because those assets are already in place and the equipment's already in place. Can you tell us about that timing?
Yeah, no, and our main investor is obviously Frank Juster, and Frank has been very successful. Frank seems to get timing very right. Really, he's a bit like Rick, and he's a bit like some of the people. He looks as a contrarian investor in the gold mining industry, and we looked around for an asset. As gold is rising now, go back a year to 15 months. Nobody cared about gold. People were saying gold was a dead asset. It was no good. And so that's the time to buy. And that's really why we picked up this project. But also in parallel, we wanted it so it can go back into production quickly because these gold kind of moves tend to happen quickly and they tend to happen for a period of time. And you want to be positioned to be able to get back into production so that you're getting two headwinds going. Gold is rising in parallel, and also you're moving towards production. So you're getting leverage to gold price, which is quite difficult to get leverage. As you know, you can buy the producers. It will move a little bit. It will move up and down. But you need to get that leverage. You need a company that's moving towards production. So you get that headwind as well. So the combination of those allows investors to actually ride that wave and come with West Red Lake, because we're new to the market. We're only 12 months basically as a company. So, and we've got an asset, we've got a resource, we're doing a pre-feasibility study. In another 6 to 8 months, we'll be in production. That's a very quick track. Sometimes it takes 10 years to build these gold mines, as you probably know.
Sometimes it takes 10 years just to get the permit.
Sometimes it takes 10 years to get the permit, but we have permits, we have infrastructure, we have everything that you need to build a gold mine, really. And now we've put in a good team. Myself as an operator, I'm a background in building, operating project. We have a very good board who's a who's who in the Canadian industry. Tony McCooch who built Kirkland Lake, Duncan Middlemass who built Whetstone Mining. These are serious guys who've come on board to build a major company. So we have a good team, a good board, and a good backer. And infrastructure in place. So there's very few companies in the market today that has all those elements to move quickly.
Well, I want to repeat maybe what's obvious is that you are also been vetted and scrutinized by Rick Rule, whom our audience knows intimately because he's been here every month for the past 13 years on our channel. And he's been talking to us about the diligence that he does to really understand not just the financial backing of a company, the management team, their track record, the resource geological aspects. So he looks at every aspect of a company before he makes it one of his investments or recommends it to others. So the fact that Rick has already endorsed your company by having you here at the Rule Symposium, I should have mentioned that we're doing this live at the Rule Symposium in Boca Raton, Florida. Before that can happen, he only will bring in companies as exhibitors whom he owns and has vetted. So that means a lot to our subscribers.
Yeah, Rick is a shareholder in West Red Lake. He likes the story. Like I said, Rick likes to he's a contrarian investor. He likes to find, as I say, unloved opportunities and get in early. And that's really West Red Lake. We started the asset. They failed already, the previous operator. So people have a lot of, how would I say, bad history with that mine.
Yeah.
They've lost some investors have lost some money, some investors that, but with the new approach, Rick likes the team, he likes the plan, he likes the opportunity, he likes the de-risking. So he saw it as a great opportunity to get in on the ground floor actually over the next number of years. So that's why Rick likes it. He liked to get in early, he liked to get in and understand the project. He worked around us with our plan. He really de-risked, understood the technical knowledge, and then used that as a base to be invested in. So
I'm embarrassed to admit that it was just this morning, after having known about your company for about, I've been watching your news flow for months and months. But anyway, a light bulb just went on for me this morning as you and I were talking, and that is this amazing sweet spot that this value proposition that you present because of this confluence of events. So let me just, at the sake of belaboring this point, this is really a big deal to me, is we all know that over the past decade, you could even say since like 2011, there's been really a slump in a long drawn-out protraction in the precious metals prices, and that means the miners have also their stocks have been really under a lot of pressure for a long period of time. Okay, but what you've got here is a geological resource in a region that's always been proven to be very productive, that was tried to be brought into production by another company. So a lot of work went into that, all the permitting went into that, building of the mill, building of a lot of other facilities around that to make it production ready, but then they struggled. And then at the time of worst sentiment and worst struggles by that company, your leadership came in and bought it. Now you are further developing proving out the resources there and getting the mill recommissioned back into ship shape and ready to run. It's practically a new mill because it's never actually been run properly and successfully. No. So here's the deal that really, this is where light bulb moment came for me this morning, is that prospective investors like myself, like our viewers, who are looking for, well, where should I get started in investing in a precious metals company? If they look at ones that are already well-known producers, and there are several of them that are very high quality, the market has already recognized them. They've already assigned them a very high multiple. So yes, there still is lots of room for growth in those, and those are maybe safe bets in that regards. But the market has already recognized them. Yeah. So that's not a contrarian play the way Rick talked about. And on the flip side, companies that are just still in the exploration stage and hoping that someday some producer will come and maybe recognize them and see their value story and buy them out. That's great, but that's kind of like betting on a long shot at the horse races.
Exactly.
Whereas you guys already have a resource. You've already got the equipment. You've got the permits. You're going to be able to get into production, as you say, in less than a year, maybe half that. But the market hasn't recognized it yet because they're looking at either producers or explorers and developers. And you've got this kind of a hybrid. You're right in between the two, where you're still under the radar. So the value play is still there, as Rick puts it, the contrarian value play. And yet, unlike the others that are typically at that stage, you're going to be in production well before the vast majority.
Yeah, some of your viewers might know Logo Tigre, who's probably been on your show.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Logo has a term he's called pre-production sweet spot.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And the golden runway is another way of doing it. And so we have both of those. We're doing exploration, we're doing drilling, we're getting some very high-grade results, as you probably know. But at the same time, we're moving towards production. And the combination of those two is very, very unusual to get in a gold mining stock today, an opportunity. And as you said, now is the time to get in. We offer that leverage to gold price. You know, people say gold will move, it'll move very up and down, but you need to get that leverage as well. You need to get those returns for investors. So that's where we fit into that market. You're getting in early, you're getting in, but also you're getting close to cash flow. And there's very few companies that have that two parallel streams going on together.
Frankly, for those who have been stacking precious metals since 2011-12 timeframe, it's been a long time of holding their breath. And so the idea of investing in a company that's quite likely and well positioned to rapidly make that transition from pre-production into production and get recognized and rewarded by the crowds, because there's likely to be crowds trying to crowd into the precious metal space. And frankly, it's a very small market. There's not a lot of room. So those who are producing value are going to be rewarded handsomely. That's what's got me so excited. But I just couldn't believe the rapidity. So it corresponds with what you said, because the pace at which you're moving, it's like watching a race where you know what the mileposts are that need to be passed, but they're coming faster than you're accustomed to. I was thinking, what's with this company? Because the press releases are showing that the milestones, the mileposts are moving faster than I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, and that's really a key. And also the track record. You know, people in our backer, Frank Juster, has done this before a long time. He's built very successful gold mining companies. We have a great board who's done it before. So we have a good team that allows us with a great asset to move quickly. You know, we can move quickly. We can move through those stages very quickly. And actually, as we get closer now to production next year, it's actually going to move faster. We're doing a pre-feasibility study. We're doing some bulk mining. We're doing some de-risking stuff. And very soon we will be in production. And this is really, as you said, the opportunity to get in. We're not a company, a junior explorer who's going to get in and explore for a number of years. And, you know, down the road, eventually we get into production. We're actually looking at production. We're building a team. We have 100 people at site. We're ramping up. You know, we'll be in production in a year. And there's very few opportunities for investors to get in now and move on that golden runway effectively.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to get at, is that people that have been holding their breath for a long time in precious metals, this is probably one of those companies that will have the shortest breath-holding time for those who become owners by becoming investors. That's why Liberty and Finance is getting involved. And it's exciting to be able to, because I get calls, we are also bullion dealers, and we get calls from people who are wanting to take one more step beyond just owning the real asset, which is maybe their primary interest, but they want to say, how can I participate in a meaningful way in getting ahead in this marketplace? And so we're always trying to bring Rick's wisdom in there and show, okay, these are the companies he's identified. But this is a very special combination, a confluence of value factors that, including the speed element, is just remarkable to me.
Yeah, no, and it's important for your viewers, you know, if you've been in bullion and you need to be careful going into the junior mining. It's a tough place to be. It's a tough companies to find, as Rick will tell your viewers a lot. And, you know, particularly if you hold the bullion, the physical, you know, it's you need to dabble very quickly. And you need to find those companies that you have quickly can make success, because otherwise you're going to have a bad experience and you're going to go, well, I'm never doing that again. You know, so something like West Red Lake is a good both combination. It's not a junior miner, it's not production. It gives you that returns and getting in early, then you'll have a good success and you'll be able to repeat that success. And Rick has talked about that, I'm sure. You need to be very careful dabbling in the market. You need to find that right company. And that's why Rick's a shareholder.
Right. And as he's talked to us about, he says, if you give good rocks to the wrong people, they'll have bad results. If you give good rocks to the right people, they'll have the good results. And he's confident in your management team. He knows your team so much better than we do that we trust his judgment in that regard. So, folks, if you look in the description of this video, you'll find the information on how to get a hold of West Red Lake if you want to find out more, and their stock information. As far as people reaching out with more detailed questions, how should they go about that?
Yeah, people can actually call myself. I'm a big believer in talking directly to shareholders and potential shareholders. And on our presentation, our corporate presentation, my details are there and the details of our investor connection. And they can sign up. Basically, we have a very good outreach program. You can sign up online as an investor and you get all our updates. We do a lot of updates. We give some information. So there's a lot of information that you can get from signing up and also reaching out to myself.
And folks, if you don't want to miss a single interview with any of West Red Lake's announcements, as this update is coming to you live from the Rural Investment Symposium on Natural Resources in Boca Raton, Florida, you can get on our free mailing list as well. And any of the press releases that West Red Lake issues, we can also get to you as well by going to libertyandfinance.com, put in your email address, click submit, and make sure you confirm on the confirming email. You'll get one email in your inbox per day with the latest interviews, including any of them with West Red Lake Gold. And Shane Williams, just on behalf of all of our viewers, we recently surpassed the 100,000 subscriber mark, and YouTube was good enough to send us a commemorative plaque of that. I have it over there, but it's not quite open yet. So anyway, on behalf of all of our viewers and subscribers, thank you for joining us this next time on Liberty and Finance, and we look forward to quite a few, updates in the next few months here.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy few months, and delighted to be on for your viewers.
Thank you.
Listeners. Thank you.